At Denver International Airport, Sam Becker, a former Marine turned security officer, begins his routine. Patrol by his side is Ranger, his loyal K9 partner, a German shepherd with a keen nose and sharp instincts. Together they scan the bustling baggage claim area. Sam is used to the monotony of airport security crowds on the move, the hum of luggage wheels on tile floors. But today feels different. He can't quite put his finger on why. As they approach an isolated corner by an abandoned carousel, Ranger suddenly stiffens his ears, perking up. Without warning, he starts barking at a lone, worn-out suitcase. Sam tries to guide him away, but Ranger doesn't budge. His barking intensifies, echoing across the baggage claim and drawing a few curious glances. Sam's pulse quickens as he realizes this isn't a false alarm. He signals to his colleague to call for backup, while trying to calm the agitated dog. Within minutes, a team of officers arrives, forming a cautious perimeter around the suitcase. Sam's supervisor, Officer Jensen, gives a nod, and Sam steps back, keeping Ranger close. The team carefully opens the suitcase as the zipper slides open. Silence falls over the room. Inside, curled up and shivering, is a little girl no older than 4. She's disheveled with dark curls matted to her forehead, her skin pale and her eyes wide with fear. For a moment nobody moves. A wave of shock hits Sam as he takes in the frail form of the girl, her small hands clutching a worn teddy bear like a lifeline. Memories of his own daughter, whom he lost years ago, flash through his mind, and he instinctively kneels down to her level. "Hey there, sweetheart," he whispers gently. The girl blinks, looking between Sam and the other officers. Too frightened to respond, a paramedic rushes over, assessing her condition with care. She's alive, but it's clear she's been through something traumatic. Sam watches as they lift her out of the suitcase and wrap her in a warm blanket, her small figure almost disappearing in the folds. The paramedics quickly take her to the airport's medical facility, and Sam finds himself lingering in the aftermath, staring at the empty suitcase and the stunned faces of his fellow officers. There's an unspoken understanding among them. This isn't a standard security incident. Jensen approaches, placing a reassuring hand on Sam's shoulder. Becca, head down to the medical unit. We need someone she can trust when she wakes up. Sam nods, grateful for the chance to do more than just file a report. As he walks through the sterile halls toward the medical center, his mind races. How did she end up here? Who could have abandoned a child in such a cruel manner? And why does he feel so deeply drawn to this little girl? This stranger whose silent suffering has ignited a fierce, protective instinct in him. When he reaches the medical center, he finds her lying on a bed, still clinging to her teddy bear. She looks so small and vulnerable against the stark white sheets. Sam quietly stands by the doorway, not wanting to disturb her, watching her. A deep-seated sense of purpose begins to take hold. In the days following her discovery, news of the girl in the suitcase spreads across the media, stirring public concern. Law enforcement steps up their investigation, but every lead hits a dead end. No missing child reports match her description. No family comes forward. The mystery of her identity and how she ended up alone in an airport suitcase grows to the world. She's a tragic story, but to Sam, she's a fragile child in need of protection. The police ask Sam to stay close, noting her visible comfort around him. It doesn't take long for Sam to agree to temporary guardianship, a role he takes on with both seriousness and a glimmer of hope. His apartment transforms in unexpected ways. He clears out the guest room, sets up a small bed, and adds a few donated toys. He's careful not to overwhelm her, but wants her to feel comfortable. Despite his efforts, the adjustment is slow. Lily, as they start calling her, speaks little, her voice barely a whisper when she does. Her memories are vague, limited to brief mentions of a big cold house and instructions to be quiet. She clings to her teddy bear as though it's her only connection to something safe. Sam doesn't pry. He lets their routine settle naturally, giving her the space to feel secure. Their days take on a quiet rhythm with small signs of progress. Mornings bring shy smiles as Sam makes breakfast, often simple, scrambled eggs and toast. Afternoons are spent watching the world outside the apartment window. Occasionally, she'll point out a passing car or a bird, and Sam responds, encouraging her curiosity at night when she struggles to sleep. Sam stays close, providing calm reassurance one evening. As Sam is cleaning up, he hears a small voice behind him. Lily, clutching her teddy bear, stands in the doorway, eyes on the floor. "I had a house big with a lot of people," she says softly, her words laced with fear and longing. Sam stops his heart aching. But he doesn't push a big house, he asks. Gently, hoping she'll share more, she nods her gaze, distant though it leaves Sam with more questions than answers. He cherishes the moment as a sign of progress over time. Lily opens up in fragments, mentioning a strict woman who didn't like her to talk. Sam starts piecing together her memories, knowing that each detail, however small, could help lead to answers. He shares his findings with the authorities, but without concrete leads, they hit a standstill. Privately, Sam wrestles with his own memories. The loss of his daughter years ago and the unexpected bond forming with Lily. Though she's a stranger, he feels an intense responsibility to protect her. Every smile, every small step forward becomes his measure of success. And while their journey is far from over, he senses they found something. Neither of them realized they were missing a sense of family as days turn into weeks. Sam becomes accustomed to Lily's quiet presence in his life. She shows small hints of trust, a fleeting smile, a tiny hand gripping his finger, her relaxed posture when he's nearby. Yet he knows they're on borrowed time. The investigation has stalled, and there's an urgency to uncover her past before any danger can return. One rainy afternoon, as they watch raindrops race down the window, Lily murmurs, "There was a lady, she didn't like me to talk." Her voice is barely audible, like sharing this piece of her life is risky. Sam listens intently resisting the urge to ask more. Over the next few days, she shares more scattered memories, a cold mansion, strict routines, and an underlying sense of fear. Each recollection feels like a breadcrumb, but the trail remains incomplete, determined to find answers. Sam takes matters into his own hands. He spends nights researching places around Denver that match her descriptions. It's tedious work, and most leads go nowhere, but one day he gets a breakthrough. A woman at a nearby shelter recalls hearing rumors about a secluded mansion on the outskirts of the city, rumored to be a place of control and neglect fueled by this lead. Sam drives out one evening, parking a distance away from the property. It's a large, imposing structure surrounded by high walls, shrouded in shadows. Sam can't shake the feeling that this place might be connected to Lily's past. He watches it for a while, noting the security cameras and tall gates, wondering if they're meant to keep people out or someone in back home. Sam carefully considers his next move. He doesn't want to alarm Lily, but he's running out of options. He shares his suspicions with a detective friend who promises to look into records and any complaints tied to the property. In the meantime, Sam focuses on giving Lily a sense of safety. He knows that every small gesture matters, that each bit of trust she extends is a victory. Yet with her past lingering in the shadows, Sam knows their peace could shatter at any moment. One evening, as he tucks her into bed, she reaches out, gripping his hand with surprising strength. "Will you stay?" she whispers, her eyes filled with hope and fear. The question takes Sam by surprise, piercing through his defenses. He realizes in that moment how much she's come to mean to him. "Yes, Lily, I'll stay, I promise," he says, softly, AOW as much to himself as to her. As he watches her drift into sleep, Sam knows that whatever darkness lies in her past, he'll face it head on, because now it's not just about finding answers, It's about protecting the family he never expected to find.